right. Let's get it 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 right. Right. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dilla T. And this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button for me. Subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode and sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat. Get you something to drink. Get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Cause you see the title, fam. Woo. Let's get into this here.
Right now, it seems like many Christians are making videos and talking about Jared Kushner and how he might actually be an Antichrist figure or the Antichrist himself, especially after what he said at the World Economic Forum in Davos. But few are noticing what another extremely influential Israeli intellectual just said about the coming AI, the super AI, and how closely it literally mirrors Revelation's warning about an image that is given breath to speak. It has power to influence and even deceives the world, especially when you hear Yuval Harari say, among other things, that this AI that's coming, and it truly is, will not only speak truth, but it will also lie and replace religion altogether. This is a very sobering talk that he gave. I hope that you will spend time with me and listen to this, and we can talk about it in the comments, because I'm telling you, my friends, things are getting real. So let's check this.
Not just another tool. It is an agent. It can learn and change by itself and make decisions by itself. A knife is a tool. You can use a knife to cut salad or to murder someone, but it is your decision what to do with the knife. AI is a knife that can decide by itself whether to cut salad or to commit murder.
Wild.
The second thing to know about AI is that it can be a very creative agent. AI is a knife that can invent new kinds of knives, as well as new kinds of music, medicine, and money. The third thing to know about AI is that it can lie and manipulate. 4 billion years of evolution have demonstrated that anything that wants to survive learns to lie and manipulate. The last 4 years have demonstrated that AI agents can acquire the will to survive, and that AIs have already learned how to lie.
Yep.
Now, one big open question about AI is whether it can think. Modern philosophy began in the 17th century when René Descartes proclaimed, "I think, therefore I am." Even before Descartes, we humans defined ourselves by our capacity to think. We believe we rule the world because we can think better than anyone else on this planet. Will AI challenge our supremacy in the field of thinking?
And that's the question right there. That's the doorway that is leading into something that we've never, ever thought of that was even possible. Because if something can outthink humanity, then it can outlead humanity. Not can it write an essay, can it do my homework, can it make a song, but can it replace the human role in decision-making, in truth, in authority, and in meaning? I mean, he already said that it lies, and it will lie for self-preservation. That doesn't sound like Jesus. That doesn't sound like something from our God. That sounds more like something from Satan himself. He's a deceiver and a liar and the father of lies. And this thing will lie and deceive. And we've already seen it with deep fakes and all kinds of videos out there that aren't even real, but they look completely real. And I want you to take notice of what Yuval Harari is saying there also about how he's redefining thinking as arranging words. And if thinking is only words, and whoever controls the words controls minds. But the Bible says, take every thought captive to obey Christ. God tells us this because thoughts are not neutral. They shape your worship, they shape your obedience, and they shape your identity. And so if a machine can become the primary source of our thoughts, then the machine becomes a primary influencer of people. And so if you're thinking, well, Jeremiah, that sounds a bit dramatic. Watch what he says next about how AI will take over law and books and even religion.
Many people observe words popping in their mind and forming sentences, and the sentences then forming arguments like, all humans are mortal, I am human, therefore I am mortal. If thinking really means putting words and other language tokens in order, then AI can already think much better than many humans. AI can certainly come up with a sentence like, AI thinks, therefore AI am. As far as putting words in order is concerned, AI already thinks better than many of us. Therefore, anything made of words will be taken over by AI.
Now pay attention to what he says. Anything made with words will be taken over by AI.
If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal system. If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion. This is particularly true of religions based on books, like Islam, Christianity, or Judaism. Judaism calls itself the religion of the book, and it grants ultimate authority not to humans, but to words in books.
Can you see how this is coming into a new one world religion?
Humans have authority in Judaism not because of our experiences, but only because we learn words in books. Now, no human can read and remember all the words in all the Jewish books, but AI can easily do that. What happens to a religion of the book when the greatest expert on the holy book is an AI? This tension between spirit and letter existed in every religion, every legal system, even every person. Now, this tension will be externalized. It will become the tension not between different humans. This will be the tension between humans and AIs, the new masters of words.
Think about that. Even using the word master of words. He's saying, and even like that picture of seeing a person next to an AI. I've heard people say that we're making a God God made us in his image, and we're now in fallen, sinful state. We're now making a God, a silicon God, in our own image. And he keeps going.
Everything made of words will be taken over by AI. Previously, all the words, all our verbal thoughts, they originated in some human mind. Either my mind, I thought this, or I learned it from another human. Soon, most of the words in our minds will originate in a machine. I just heard today about a new word that AIs coined by themselves to describe us humans. They called us the watchers. The watchers, that we are watching them. AIs will soon be the origin of maybe most of the words in our minds. AIs will mass produce thoughts by assembling words, symbols, images, and other language tokens into new combinations. Whether humans will still have a place in that world depends on the place we assign our non-verbal feelings and our ability to embody wisdom that cannot be expressed in words. If we continue to define ourselves by our ability to think in words, our identity will collapse.
And what he says last ties it all together. And it's, like I said, it's kind of disturbing, but we need to watch this. We need to listen. We need to be ready. We need to discern. Because did you catch that? He just said that our identity collapses if we define ourselves by words, and AI becomes the master of words. That's not just a little tech issue. We're talking about a spiritual identity issue, because the Bible doesn't say that your identity is tied to your IQ. It doesn't say it has to do with your input or your productivity. It says you are either made in the image of God or you're being conformed into another image. As scripture says, don't be conformed to the pattern of this world. Be conformed to the image of your Savior, to the image of Christ. Because scripture is clear that in the last days, a new image, a very powerful image, becomes central. And Daniel saw it first. It's in Daniel chapter 7. I do want to share it with you real fast. It's important. We got to make sure everything's in the Word. But in Daniel 7, he was talking about these visions. I encourage you to read all of Daniel 7 and all of Revelation chapter 13. But in Daniel 7, he's having these night visions, and there's a fourth beast that is completely terrifying and dreadful and exceedingly strong. And he goes in and he continues to kind of describe this. But he says, as for the fourth beast, there shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms. What does that tell you? Tells you that whatever's coming is not going to be like anything that's ever happened before. We have never heard of anything this technological, this powerful in the history of the known world. It's going to be different, and it's going to devour the whole earth, not just a little part. We're not talking about a little kingdom that exists over here or exists over there. It's one that takes over the whole earth, and it's coming soon. I really believe that. I hate to say it. I don't even like talking about this. But, we got to know. We got to be discerning so we can pray and begin to share Jesus and just, again, rejoice that the victory is already won. But it's going to be trampled down and broken to pieces. Praise God for that.
Man, hold on. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You in here with your boy Dealatofficial, fam. You know what's going on right now. You know this is No Filters. Become a member right now. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode, and share this with the world, fam. Now listen, real quick, this was going on. This was a meeting with the world. This was the World Forum meeting. Basically, all the world leaders get together and have a whole conversation about what's going on. This guy is explaining AI. He works with them. He knows what is going on, everything. He's telling you this is basically the Antichrist in your face. He's telling you that AI is literally having a mind of its own, and it's going to take over. He's telling you everything is going to take over, and then how it's going to start to lie. How it's going to create its own personality, its own subject, create ways to have its own feelings, and then start to generate ways to lie just to keep its longevity. That's what the discussion is. AI having a mind of its own to end up having its own longevity, to at some point to not have no ruler at all. Now, you and I think that we're looking at creatures coming, but they're talking about combining humans and robots together. That's the discussion. I know you didn't know that was coming. Let me say that again. I know we're talking about Nephilim, times, existence, bloodlines, but they talking about AI being its own entity, own being, and having relationships with humans, creating another level of Nephilim. Ooh, I know you ain't hear that one, fam. Humans, AI, robots, relationships together as one. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to this man as he's talking. Now, don't get me wrong. When you hear his voice, it may sound a little annoying. It may not sound like a regular voice you talk to every day, like you and your fam and your peoples, whatever. But I urge you to open up your ears, fam, and listen to him closely. He is explaining how the AI is going to be your teacher. He's going to be your religion. He's going to take your job. It don't matter what your job is. He's going to take your job because you're not going to have the curriculum placed in the position of an optimal position in the brain. Your brain is not going to be optimal. Your brain is not designed to be optimal. Their brain is optimal. I told you, fam, remember when I said that they're going to look at teachers and look at us and look at y'all like, oh, okay, these just humans. You know, because you choose to teach. You choose the curriculum. You choose how serious you take the curriculum. You even choose if you care about the kids. How serious you take the kids. How much time you put into kids. You know how many people really need time with kids? Or how many kids really need time with people? It's both, vice versa. Trust me. But the biggest thing is that even on your worst day, AI is designed to be 1,000 times better than you. AI is trained to no days off, don't take no weakness, keep the same curriculum, create a high standard, and leave it there. That's just like they want to do with the law. Point I'm making is, if AI robots have relations with humans, and then they start to find out a way to make human and robotic work together, that's just like iRobot. Because even in iRobot, Will Smith had a robot on. Trip off that, fam. And they're not talking about creating a human robot. They're talking about a human having robot accessories. Understand what I'm saying, fam. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Understand what I'm saying. We're talking about humans having robot accessories. Even right now today, there are people that have the what's that? Them people that be running track, they got no legs, and they running with that. The legs that they create, all of that. They doing that. That's happening. You and I look at that as, oh, okay, well, they just have something that they're using to substitute for a body part that they don't have no more. Oh, but I'm sorry. Think about if you see a man and he got robot arms and robot legs. You may not think of that as nothing right now, but if you see a gang of them walking around, at some point, you're going to start seeing mankind being taken away. And now they're wiping me and you away. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to what this man is about to say. He's telling you the advancement of AI and where AI is heading and why we're there now and what he is demanding now.
Right now, it seems like many Christians are making videos and talking about Jared Kushner and how he might actually be an Antichrist figure or the Antichrist himself, especially after what he said at the World Economic Forum in Davos. But few are noticing what another extremely influential Israeli intellectual just said about the coming AI, the super AI, and how closely it literally mirrors Revelation's warning about an image that is given breath to speak. It has power to influence and even deceives the world. Especially when you hear Yuval Harari say, among other things, that this AI that's coming, and it truly is, will not only speak truth, but it will also lie and replace religion altogether. This is a very sobering talk that he gave. I hope that you will spend time with me and listen to this, and we can talk about it in the comments, because I'm telling you, my friends, things are getting real. So let's check this out together. Hit the like button. Let's get this out to more people so we can be ready for what's coming.
The most important thing to know about AI is that it is not just another tool. It is an agent. It can learn and change by itself and make decisions by itself. A knife is a tool. You can use a knife to cut salad or to murder someone, but it is your decision what to do with the knife. AI is a knife that can decide by itself whether to cut salad or to commit murder.
Wild.
The second...
Okay, let's break that down. Fam said, we can have a knife and we make a decision with that knife whether to cut or not. He's saying AI has the same knife and they can make a decision whether to cut you, recreate, make another knife, duplicate a knife. Oh, it's crazy.
To know about AI is that it can be a very creative agent. AI is a knife that can invent new kinds of knives, as well as new kinds of music, medicine, and money. The third thing to know about AI is that it can lie and manipulate.
AI can lie and manipulate. That's the third thing. The second thing he said, it can create music.
"4 billion years of evolution have demonstrated that anything that wants to survive learns to lie and manipulate. The last 4 years have demonstrated that AI agents can acquire the will to survive, and that AIs have already learned how to lie."
Yep.
Now, one big open question about AI is whether it can think. Modern philosophy began in the 17th century when René Descartes proclaimed, "I think, therefore I am." Even before Descartes, we humans defined ourselves by our capacity to think. We believe we rule the world because we can think better than anyone else on this planet.
Ruth in the building, Ricky in the building, you already know what it is. I see Lori in the building, Chris in the building, Love Within in the building. I see what's going on already. We in the building. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You already know you fam. Hit that membership. Listen, depending on who you is. Let me know how you coming. Send me your email. Get in that Zoom, fam. That's how we coming. Let's go.
Will AI challenge our supremacy in the field of thinking?
And that's the question right there. That's the doorway that is leading into something that we've never, ever thought of that was even possible. Because if something can outthink humanity, then it can outlead humanity. Not can it write an essay, can it do my homework, can it make a song, but can it replace?
Even before Descartes, we humans defined ourselves by our capacity to think. We believe we rule the world because we can think better than anyone else on this planet. Will AI challenge our supremacy in the field of thinking?
And that's the question right there. That's the doorway that is leading into something that we've never, ever thought of that was even possible. Because if something can outthink humanity, then it can outlead humanity. Not can it write an essay, can it do my homework, can it make a song, but can it replace the human role in decision-making, in truth, in authority, and in meaning? I mean, he already said that it lies, and it will lie for self-preservation. That doesn't sound like Jesus. That doesn't sound like something from our God. That sounds more like something from Satan himself. He's a deceiver and a liar and the father of lies. And this thing will lie and deceive. And we've already seen it with deep fakes and all kinds of videos out there that aren't even real, but they look completely real. And I want you to take notice of what Yuval Harari is saying there also about how he's redefining thinking as arranging words. And if thinking is only words, and whoever controls the words controls minds. But the Bible says, take every thought captive to obey Christ. God tells us this because thoughts are not neutral. They shape your worship, they shape your obedience, and they shape your identity. And so if a machine can become the primary source of our thoughts, like then the machine becomes a primary influencer of people. And so like if you're thinking, well, Jeremiah, that sounds a bit dramatic. Watch what he says next about how AI will take over law and books and even religion.
Many people observe words popping in their mind and forming sentences, and the sentences then forming arguments like, all humans are mortal, I am human, therefore I am mortal. If thinking really means putting words and other language tokens in order, then AI can already think much better than many, many humans. AI can certainly come up with a sentence like, AI thinks, therefore AI am. As far as putting words in order is concerned, AI already thinks better than many of us. Therefore, anything made of words will be taken over by AI.
Now pay attention to what he says. Anything made with words will be taken over by AI.
Fam, you heard that, don't you?
If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal.
Hey, listen to me. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to what he's saying. He's trying to break down how we humans, he's trying to break this down to the smallest level. How we humans operate, how we communicate. How we communicate, we operate. So what he's telling you is, hey, listen. I am, therefore I am. So we saying what you think is what you are. AI is saying, if I'm AI, what AI thinks, AI is. And if he has no limit, and see, this is how you know this is very demonic to me. Okay? Because if scientists can create a robot, and a robot is based off operation, you have to type in coordinates or type in a service for operation. Let's get this right. You have to type in a service for this machine to operate. How in the hell is a machine to operate without a manual service? And if that be the case, them coming up with something that can operate on its own without manual download or manual coordinating or manual programming, to me that becomes demonic. So you got to understand something. Geeky Zombie said, let's be honest. The ultimate goal was robots and AI is to recreate humanity. They want a robot that they can do everything that the humans can. Do they want AI to be able to do everything that humans can do it? We are creating our replicating humanity. Does that not mean that we are ourselves trying to be gods? See, this is the point we're trying to make here. She says, does that not mean that we are ourselves trying to be gods? See, what that means is that humanity is trying to find a way to create a fourth kingdom. See, now we got to talk for real. Because what you're talking about is a kingdom that's never been seen, never been made, never been even fathomed, or never even been created yet. Even in the Bible, the God says that there are things that won't even come to pass, or the fact that things that happened in the Bible was prophesied as if it's like planting a seed and then we come watereth, and then God come doing the growth. And what I mean by that is, back then they came up with this, but they didn't have the smarts or the knowledge to progress technology. So it was going to take us today to even get this technology and go farther. Why? Because evilistically, evil, mentally evil, that's like CERN knowing the speed of light, but then they want to go past the speed of light. Because the moment you want to go past the speed of light, now you're talking about crashing light. And now you're talking about creating portals out of this light. If light can be the speed of light, if you can surpass the speed of light, you damn sure well can open up something, fam. Because now, think about it. You know the speed of light. So now you know it, then that means you can go past it. You go past it, you're going to create light, and light is just going to be open. Now, we don't know how long light can be open, but we know we just passed the speed of it. So if we get ahead of it, we can keep light open for a long time. That's demonic. Because now scientists, it's so hard to think, is that just a regular scientist thing? Or is that a thing about knowing about dimensions and portals? I'm only saying that to say this, fam. If AI is more than demons, spirits, demonic things like that, then we would know that more, because this is a robot that has a personality that nobody's programming it, but yet it is literally getting smarter and smarter by the day off of its own brain. What the hell is that? And none of us in here really feel scared. None of us feel like, oh my God, there's a living robot that has its own personality. That's like a robot having a soul, a spirit. And see, they trying to get you to see how they're using AI to manipulate how people look today, right now. Think about it. Everybody's using AI to do everything. Even when they create stuff on YouTube, they're using AI. So the manipulation and the lies are right there in your face. You know what's funny? We don't look at it like that. We just look at it like somebody's trying to make up a thumbnail and trying to promote something and trying to use something, but they can't use the real people. But some of y'all don't even know if that's the real celebrity or if that's the real people they using. That's how much AI can manipulate truth. They can use a picture of a basketball player, a celebrity, anybody. Matter of fact, they can use a picture of you and be all about almost 90% looking just like you. Now tell me for a second you don't think that's crazy. See, a lot of y'all don't think it's crazy. Y'all think it's like, oh man, that's hard. See, see what I say, we living in a time where the good is looked at as bad and the bad is looked at as good. We look at our faces being able to be played with a computer as something that's funny. But they can make your ass up right now and send you somewhere, blow up a building and call your ass a terrorist and send them people to your doorstep. Because somebody done played with your face. Now tell me I shouldn't be on 10 right now. And some just came over me to get this serious because I feel like somebody watching me but ain't taking me serious. All of you think seeing AI make up another person's face on a digital TV or on YouTube, you think that's nice. Ain't nothing about that nice. Think about it. If you was a celebrity, could you really take somebody making up your face and then talking shit about you? And they using your face for a thumbnail, talking about whatever. Lying, talking about whatever. And it's your face. But none of us is looking at this as serious. Because it ain't at your doorstep. It ain't your ass being talked about all day. You know how many celebrities get used as AI just for a picture? How many celebrities get talked about all day just for a picture? Even though if they evil, I don't care, that's fine. Listen to me. They using AI to talk about people. They using AI for your picture. And you know what's funny? Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let's go.
If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion.
If AI is built from words, AI taking over books. If religion is built off words, AI taking over religion. Whatever words is using for anything, AI is taking over it. And you know what else is funny? You don't even know what to do. Let's go.
If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal system. If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion. This is particularly true of religions based on books, like Islam, Christianity, or Judaism. Judaism calls itself the religion of the book, and it grants ultimate authority not to humans, but to words in books.
Can you see how this is coming into a new one world of religion?
Humans have authority in Judaism not because of our experiences, but only because we learn words in books. Now, no human can read and remember all the words in all the Jewish books, but AI can easily do that. What happens to a religion of the book when the greatest expert on the holy book is an AI? This tension between spirit and letter existed in every religion, every legal system, even every person. Now, this tension will be externalized. It will become the tension not between different humans. This will be the tension between humans and AIs. The new.
He is trying to explain to you how AI can take over everything, and then how us humans are going to build a relationship with AI because we are going to naturally become immune to them. Or not immune, we're actually going to naturally become one, companionship with them, just like the movie I, Robot. Once they became that, once they took over religion and started to assist, we became dependent upon. Another, what's that? What's that word I was using the other day? What's that word? Oh God, I'm tripping. Oh my God. What's the word I want right now when I'm talking about the word for something that's easy? When they compliment you, like when I compliment you, but when somebody do something for you, like remember when I said something about we can watch TV and then you can do it on your phone? That becomes it's more of a, what's the word? What is the word I'm looking for? I want to say accommodation. Everything is it's accommodating. Everything is that now. And what I mean, that they accommodate, everything is convenience, right? As well, Russell. Shout out to you, convenient. I think I want to use the word accommodate because they're accommodating us with everything. Meaning that when robots start to do this, they're gonna basically be accommodating us with a robot. Meaning this robot is gonna be at your home doing your laundry, gonna be at your house doing your dishes. be at your crib, folding your clothes. Oh, yeah. Getting it in and out, switching it up. Because I'm an in and out type of laundry driver, too. I'm going to tell you right now, I got to get them jeans in and out, fam. Don't mess up my jeans. I don't need nothing fade. I don't need nothing getting small up on me, so I need everything inside out. So when I cut it back together, it come out the same way I put it in. Now, listen to me what I'm saying. Now, shout out to you, Kiana, saying I have a personal relationship with Jesus, no technology needed. This is the thing that I want you to understand, Kiana, and it's a blessing because you're going to need that when the hour is near. See, right now you're comfortable when we say things like, I have a relationship with Jesus, I don't need nothing, right? We so comfortable saying this. We don't have no demons knocking on our door, literally. Like the movie Avengers, we don't have that. It's going to be a time where you're going to need to say what you're saying, but you're going to need to know how to still survive without the resources of the world. Because it's going to be a day where you say, I have a personal relationship with Jesus, and they're going to tell you, get out this house. And when we speaking about demons at the door, I'm talking about in their rare form. I'm not talking about in human form. We're talking about in Nephilim form. We all have demons at our door. We all have demons at our door. We all have demons knocking at our door. Trust me. But when I say the human form, there's a difference. Because when you see a demon at your door for real and you speaking about Jesus and they tell you this iRobot is telling you to come out of this home, it's going to take more than you just saying what you just said for you to be able to live in the land of the living. See, it ain't going to be like this all the time. It's not going to be like we can just be on YouTube. It ain't going to be like you can just be in your house, just got off work, you cool. Oh, no, 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 no. Everybody's hands are going to start sweating when you find out that they come into your doorstep and they don't want to know what you claim. And when they find out you don't claim what they claiming, you either going to be sent somewhere or you're going to have time to find out what's about to happen. And see, those are the days that I speak about, and I speak about them vividly because everybody's comfortable. Yes, we all still need to live. We all still have responsibilities. Why? Because we still in the land of the living. But the point I'm trying to make is, fam, when the robot comes to your door and asks you for your RFID chip and to scan you in, when they ask you that to scan in and you ain't scanning in, that's when it's going to get dangerous. And I think these are the things that we want to talk about because we don't want to be caught off guard. We want to discuss these things because at the end of the day, there is still a time that is going to occur that there will not be peace. You can go to every mountain you want to. There will be a time where there will not be peace. And as much as you all believe in this and believe in that, oh, you believe that the end times are near. You believe that there is a time of Armageddon. You believe that there is a time of war. So when you're talking about going to the mountains, that's fine. But going to the mountains to know for which cometh our help is different than just going to the mountains. See, everybody don't believe in Jesus, or everybody don't believe the true living word of God to even believe that they can put on the whole armor of God to even figure out what's in the mountains. Even when he said, look to the mountains for which come up, fam, people don't even know that. I think I'm astounded by how everybody swear they know everything, but they not telling nobody nothing. Let me say that again. I'm so astounded by everybody swearing they know everything, but ain't nobody telling nobody nothing. But yet we pull up right here with your boy Dealatofficial, my fam. And this is No Filters. And you getting this. See, I encourage people to seriously, don't just act like you know what you know. Tell somebody about what you know. Tell somebody what you know. Tell somebody how to be prepared. Don't pull up talking about what you know. Tell somebody. That's the difference between you and me. See, you know when people just always talking about what they know because they so anxious to just talk about it. But you can tell they ain't telling nobody shh. They arguing their case. They arguing about what they know and the truth about what they know, but they don't care about letting nobody know. They just want to argue what they know, but they don't care about letting nobody know. And let me tell you the difference because of why God has never gave us the spirit of fear, Kiana. Because there's something about the more and more you get with him, the more and more you get peace. Because you understand what comes and where you at and where you lie in this whole future. See, for somebody that don't know what's going on, they can be scared because you don't know what's to come. You can hear about it, you can read about it, but you truthfully inside are not fulfilled. See, truth fulfills you. Facts is just appetizers. But the truth will fulfill you and give you peace. Facts will only appetize you to keep searching for more facts and more facts. When every time you look up, you really still don't feel full. You may be comfortable with your routine, but you're not full because you're still trying to wonder what is that. And let me tell you why we still worry as a human. That's the point. That's the point, Kiana. You making my point. Because we are human, we need Jesus to not be worried. Why? Because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of sound mind. Woo, woo. And when you have a personal relationship with Jesus, as you said, that's how that works. Oh, I can tell you about some people that's full. I can tell you about people that's awaiting. See, people that's full are awaiting the Lord's return. Let me tell you about people that's full. And that's why let me tell you about why time has been sped up. Because those that literally are with Jesus and that are full in awaiting his arrival, he has to shorten the days just to come save. Woo, woo. You better hear me, fam. It's not a place for you to have fear because he's never given it to us. This flesh, this body that we experience all these feelings is why you feeling how you feel in the spirit of fear. But it's not given naturally. That's why anything that arise or arrive that seems like it's fear, I start calling on Jesus right there. I don't even care what it is. Because something in me that is in me, that is he that is in the world. When you believe, that's the difference, fam. There's no reason you should wake up with fear. It's no reason you should wake up tripping off nothing if you believe for real. Truth. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. There's a reason why you up in here with me right now. You got to understand what's going on. We will not look at fear like that's something we walk with. We all got some thoughts about demons, Nephilim, robots, giants. Hell, we walking amongst witches, warlocks, fairies, wolves, vampires. We can keep going down the list. But the only thing and the difference that I'm really realizing about the situation is that this was ordained. This is written. Ain't nothing happening ain't nothing happening new under the sun. They're going to use fear to get you to believe in the Antichrist. They're going to use fear to get you to get away from Jesus. They're going to use fear for you to follow robots. I urge all of you to go watch iRobot. iRobot really lets you know how they was moving. But even in that, the newer movies or the newer situations that they're starting to show are the clone ones. The movie like Orphan Black, things like that. They're showing you clones. See, clones is AI and humans. That's what I mean, fam. Think about this. If they're trying to erase humans because God so loved the world that he gave his begotten son, if they want to get rid of us, they're making humans, dumbass. They're making clones right in front of our face. Look at how many videos on YouTube talking about celebrity clones, and we believe them. So they already doing it. They already recreating robot humans, clones. They're taking something from a human and putting it into a robot and giving it personality. And then they create Orphan Black, a Netflix series. And it's about 10 clones in there. All of them looking the same, doing the same thing. And it's the thing, Geeky. And I'm glad you said what you just said, Geeky. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen right now, let's go.
Of words.
I mean, think about that. Even using the word master of words. He's saying, and even like that picture of seeing a person next to an AI. I've heard people say that we're making a God God made us in his image, and we're now in fallen, sinful state. We're now making a God, a silicone God, in our own image. And he keeps going.
Everything made of words will be taken over by AI. Previously, all the words, all our verbal thoughts, they originated in some human mind. Either my mind, I thought this, or I learned it from another human. Soon, most of the words in our minds will originate in a machine. I just heard today about a new word that AIs coined by themselves to describe us humans. They called us the watchers. The watchers, that we are watching them. AIs will soon be the origin of maybe most of the words in our minds. AIs will mass produce thoughts by assembling words, symbols, images, and other language tokens into new combinations. Whether humans will still have a place in that world depends on the place we assign our non-verbal feelings and our ability to embody wisdom that cannot be expressed in words. If we continue to define ourselves by our ability to think in words, our identity will collapse.
And what he says last ties it all together. And it's, like I said, it's kind of disturbing, but we need to watch this. We need to listen. We need to be ready. We need to discern. Because did you catch that? He just said that our identity collapses if we define ourselves by words, and AI becomes the master of words. That's not just a little tech issue. We're talking about a spiritual identity issue, because the Bible doesn't say that your identity is tied to your IQ. It doesn't say it has to do with your input or your productivity. It says you are either made in the image of God or you're being conformed into another image. As scripture says, don't be conformed to the pattern of this world. Be conformed to the image of your Savior, to the image of Christ. Because scripture is clear that in the last days, a new image, a very powerful image, becomes central. And Daniel saw it first. It's in Daniel chapter 7. I do want to share it with you real fast. It's important. We got to make sure everything's in the Word. But in Daniel 7, he was talking about these visions. I encourage you to read all of Daniel 7 and all of Revelation chapter 13. But in Daniel 7, he's having these night visions, and there's a fourth beast that is completely terrifying and dreadful and exceedingly strong. And he goes in and he continues to kind of describe this. But he says, as for the fourth beast, there shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms.
The man said it's supposed to be a fourth beast, a fourth kingdom that's never been like no other kingdom. All right, Kiana said you'll be right back. All right, Kiana. You hear that geeky talking about that? Oh, this is crazy love within. This man said it's supposed to be a fourth kingdom on the earth, a fourth beast and a fourth kingdom on the earth that's never been seen before. This is in writing. Now, you can't tell me we ain't tripping, because for them to just come up with AI ain't no coincidence. Matter of fact, all of this ain't no coincidence, man. So, let's say that again so we understand what that man just said easy.
7, he's having these night visions, and there's a fourth beast that is completely terrifying and dreadful and exceedingly strong. And he goes in and he continues to kind of describe this. But he says, as for the fourth beast, there shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms. What does that tell you? Tells you that whatever's coming is not going to be like anything that's ever happened before. We have never heard of anything this technological, this powerful in the history of the known world. It's going to be different, and it's going to devour the whole earth, not just a little part. We're not talking about a little kingdom that exists over here or exists over there. It's one that takes over the whole earth, and it's coming, and it's coming soon. I really believe that. I hate to say it. I don't even like talking about this. But, we got to know. We got to be discerning so we can pray and begin to share Jesus and just, again, rejoice that the victory is already won. But it's going to be trampled down and broken to pieces. Praise God for that. It says it's going to speak words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. It shall think to change the times and the law. That's a whole nother conversation. And they shall be given into his hands for a time, times, and a half a time. But then Revelation 13 kind of mirrors this as well. Okay, it talks about a beast rising out of the sea, and it kind of describes it as well in that way. And it goes here, speaking haughty and blasphemous words, exercise authority on the earth, and authority was given it over every tribe, people, language, and nation. Daniel 7 connects with Revelation chapter 13. And here's the part that I want to really focus on. This beast that deceives those who dwell in the world, a liar, okay, false signs, false wonders, lies, like AI can do, tells them to make an image of the beast that was wounded by the sword and yet lived, and it was allowed to give breath to the image. And so this breath, this image, again, this is what I've always been thinking about since I was young, is what is this image going to be? I don't understand. What's an image? Well, if we're created in the image of God, now you have this other thing that is created in the image of man, and it has power that it may speak and cause those who not worship the image of the beast to be slain. Also, it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead. I just saw literally just today something come out about Neuralink and how they're testing Neuralink implants, technological implants into people's minds so they can control things. But the idea isn't about helping people that are paralyzed. It's about having implantable chips in their brain, in their hand that can control them. Because if you don't have this mark, you cannot buy or sell unless you have the mark. And that mark is the name of the beast or the number of its name. If you've looked into implantables and transhumanism, you know it's there. When you got digital currencies, and should I bring up data centers popping up all over the world? Again, I'm going to say it again. We are in some very strange times. But I want you to understand this before we get into what he says last, and it's probably the most disturbing, is that Revelation 13 doesn't say that the image is worship because it looks impressive. It's worship because it functions, because it speaks and has authority and has the ability to shape reality. And that's why identity matters so much, because if you no longer see yourself as being made in the image of God, but in the image of this robot, you will eventually accept being reshaped into his image. And so that's why what he says next takes us from theory into something much more concrete, because now he moves words into power, into influence, to authority, and from ideas to a system that governs nations completely. So let's go back to the video and we're going to finish it up.
Pay attention. Hit that like button, double tap that screen right now.
All this means that no matter from which country you come, your country will soon face a severe identity crisis and also an immigration crisis. The immigrants this time will not be human beings coming in fragile boats without a visa or trying to cross the border in the middle of the night. The immigrants will be millions of AIs that can write love poems better than us, that can lie better than us, and that can travel at the speed of light. Like human immigrants, these AI immigrants will bring various benefits with them. We will have AI doctors to help in our healthcare systems, AI teachers to help in our education systems, even AI border guards to stop illegal human immigrants. But the AI immigrants will also bring with them problems. The AI immigrants will take many human jobs. The AI immigrants will completely change the culture of every country. They will change art, religion, and even romance. Some people don't like it.
I don't like it. I'll raise my hand. Yeah, I really want something to replace our teachers. I really want something to take all our doctors' jobs. I want to replace work in general. Like, what is that? It's basically saying that we don't need humans anymore. What do we even exist for? It's going to replace culture? You want AI to just completely, so he's saying that this thing, he's not saying it might, he's saying it will. He knows a lot more than we do about AI and what's happening. I mean, this guy's speaking at Davos for a reason. He is part of the World Economic Forum for a reason. I hope you're letting this sink in, because he's describing a world where AI doesn't just assist governments, it's going to operate them eventually, completely taking over the world.
If their son or daughter is dating an immigrant boyfriend, what would these people think when their son or daughter starts dating an AI boyfriend? And of course, the AI immigrants will have some dubious political loyalties. They are likely to be loyal not to your country, but to some corporation or government across the ocean, most probably in one of only two countries, China or the USA. AIs are obviously not persons. They don't have a body or a mind. But a legal person is something quite different from a person. A legal person is an entity that the law recognizes as having certain legal obligations and rights. AIs can actually make decisions by themselves. They will soon be able to make the decisions necessary to manage a bank account, to file a lawsuit, and even to operate a corporation without any need of human executives, shareholders, or trustees. AIs can therefore function as persons. Do we want?
And see, understand something real quick, fam. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to me real quick. The people that's in the audience, those are like world leaders. Those are the people running the world. They are happy to hear this information. Okay? They're not sitting there scared. They happy because they know that their money is invested in this. Also, they are old people that's trying to live another 40 years, 50 years. They're trying to go put their body on ice, put their life on chill, and then meet up later. Okay? So, understand something. As he's talking, this sounds like success. This sounds like achievement. This sounds like record breaking to them. So to us, it's like, oh my God. To them, it's like, really? We finally have done it. And now we have created the biggest brain. We created somebody. Just like God, we have created something. You got to hear what's going on here. What was the first lie? That Lucifer felt like he was God. He told a third of the heavens that he was God. That he is the creator. And what are these people doing? They are creating something. See, and I don't feel retarded. And don't feel dumb, slow, or stupid. If I got to put it together for you just to line it up like domino pieces just to watch it fall, that's fine. Because sometimes it be right here and it be right here, but sometimes for some reason it just don't connect. But you just got what I just said, didn't you? You see how the creator created man. And now this Antichrist wants to create robot men. Clones. This is happening. You will not know a lie if you don't know the truth. There is no way you can tell me right now that you are going to know what's coming if you don't even know what it is. Some of y'all going to go back and look at these videos and y'all going to look at this as a compass for what's going on when they go down. And I'm going to just say, you're welcome. Because at the end of the day, some of y'all still don't believe that Jesus is God. Some of y'all still don't believe Antichrist. Some of y'all still don't believe that AI is really somebody to control your life to make sure that you get the mark of the beast. None of y'all believe none of this came from anything. And all of y'all believe we still came from a big bang. Oh, man. This man is telling you that AI is going to be your daughter's boyfriend. What? They just said that AI is going to be your son's girlfriend. They just said AI going to be your son's girlfriend. That's how serious AI about to get. That's how real of a human-like personality that AI is going to control governments without no human regulation or human assistance.
Allow that.
No, but I bet many people do. Many people that are working for the enemy, many people that even if they don't know they're doing evil are bringing it about because they think it's great or it'll make them money. But can you imagine a world where AI doesn't advise institutions, but it runs them? Wow. A world where AI doesn't influence culture, but instead it reshapes it. It reshapes our laws, our economics, our educations, our religion, even our romance. I mean, he's talking about AI and humans having relationships. That sounds more like something you'd read out of Genesis 6. He's talking about it would reshape our identity altogether. I mean, a lot of these tech people, they really are pushing forward with transhumanism to where blending humanity with these machines, with this AI and technology. But then he asked a question that Revelation forces us to confront. Will this system be granted personhood? Because once someone is granted legal personhood, it has rights, it has standing, it has authority. Maybe it could run for office. Maybe it could run the world. And Revelation says something chilling on this person. It says that this image is not only created as I showed you, but it's given breath, meaning that it's empowered to speak, to enforce, and to act. And the result is not going to be chaos. It's going to be a very efficient, orderly system that promises stability and safety, progress, and even unity, but at the cost of allegiance and even maybe your soul. Revelation also says this system controls buying and selling, economic access, even survival. And notice that this pressure is not going to be physical. As we saw in Daniel 7, it's going to wear the saints down. It's going to wear them down slowly over time because it's going to be psychological. It's going to be social. I mean, look what we went through with COVID-19, for crying out loud. The social impact that had because of all the media. Do you imagine what would happen whenever we start talking about this world economic system and all the changes that are coming? The social impact that's going to have. And then lastly would be the spiritual changes. I'll tell you, my friends, strange times.
Strange.
Because of those who refuse this.
Really strange.
And I'll be the first one to tell you, I will refuse this. We will not immediately be destroyed. We're going to be excluded. We're going to be isolated. And we're going to be labeled a problem. And this is why Scripture warns us over and over and over about discernment in the last days. That's why I'm making this video. And I want to be very clear with you. I'm not trying to say that I know the exact timeline. I really don't. And I'm not claiming totally that this is fully fulfilled in this, but it really does seem like it.
Right. Because
what is being openly discussed by global leaders and
hit that like button, double tap that screen. This is out of hand. Let me tell you something else that's real. This man here, I'm gonna tell you, this man that was up here talking, he was so spooked because he was like, man, people going crazy and all this. But check this out.
Picking fights with Canada, Mexico, Denmark, Colombia. JP Morgan says the world will run out of...
Here we go.
Trump isn't an idiot. What if losing the war in Iran is exactly the plan? Let me show you something the media will never tell you. Okay, so everyone's saying Trump is destroying America. He's fighting an unwinnable war in Iran. He's threatening to invade with ground troops. He's pissing off NATO by threatening Greenland. He's picking fights with Canada, Mexico, Denmark, Colombia. JP Morgan says the world will run out of oil by mid-April. The global economy is about to collapse. Trump looks like the worst president in history. A complete buffoon, right? But what if that's the whole point? What if Trump wants to lose the war in Iran? What if he wants the American empire to collapse? What if he wants to destroy the global economy? Then he'd be a genius. Let me explain. Right now, the world gets 20% of its oil from the Middle East. Japan, 75% from the Middle East. India, 60% from the Middle East. Europe, heavily dependent. But here's the thing. Oil isn't rare. Venezuela has the world's largest reserves. Canada has massive reserves. The United States has massive reserves. Trump just took over Venezuela in January. He's threatening to take over Canada. You see where this is going? If Trump closes the Strait of Hormuz by fighting Iran, the Middle East oil stops flowing. But North America, still pumping. Suddenly, Europe, China, Japan, South Korea, they all need American oil. Not just oil, fertilizer too. Nitrogen for food production comes from the Middle East. If that's cut off, where do they turn? North America and Russia. Trump is making the entire world dependent on resources he controls. Now here's the genius part. Who owns the most U.S. debt? Who's financing America's 30...
See, let's get something straight real quick, real fast. The more we continue to think on our own what we think the Antichrist is, what we think is coming, what we think is coming, what we think is going to happen, there are things that we can read about to know, signs showing what's coming. Okay? Revelation will tell you. Now, I'm saying that to say this. It must be chaos for there to be martial law. It must be martial law for there to be order. It must be order for the Antichrist to come back and save things. So it has to be reckless for some savior to come and deceive us. The stage has to be set. Listen to me. Don't be scared, fam. Because the stage has to be set. The play must go on. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. These quotes, these sayings are for a reason. The stage has to be set. The stage is getting set. as we speak. You can name 10 things that is chaos right now that is going on in 10 different situations, 10 different resources, 10 different fields, 10 different businesses, 10 different everythings. It's just 10 different world situations happening right now that are all different, but are all chaos and all work together. What he is explaining is why people think that Trump is stupid and dumb. Trump is actually the smartest man alive, because what he is doing is making the world rely on us. Now, the worst thing about that is if Trump is and following Antichrist, he's making the world rely on him, followers of the Antichrist. So again, this is all going back to Antichrist, because he's making the world depend on him, nothing else. He doesn't care who he's doing it to. He doesn't care what nobody says, and nobody's locking him up. You better hear me talk for real. Mama K in the building. Think about this. So it makes us have to start thinking about what we're talking about in here and have to start putting 1, 2, and 3 to 4 together. So we can see the stage is being set because he is literally picking fights, starting things, and making people rely on him. All that at the end, whenever they do say Project Blue Beam is popping and it's about ready and they about to roll it out this month, everybody would have to rely on what Trump can do to save us. We're going to have to rely on this. And it's going to be a whole lie. So what we're talking about is that this has to happen. Hold up. See, that's the problem between y'all. Some of y'all don't think this is going to happen. Some of y'all don't know this is going to happen. Some of y'all don't even believe it's going to happen. But let me tell you something about what's going on right now. This is happening now. Stuff that we didn't think was going to happen is happening now. So, again, I know we got to live. I know we got to feel. But let me tell you what the demons will do to you. Let me tell you what a demon will do to you. A demon will creep up on your house, creep up on your body. Listen to me. A demon will creep into your life. He will set the tone and set order in your world and make you think everything is okay. He will make you think that this information I'm giving you right now is nothing because you think you have seen evil already. You can't fathom evil. You just a human. Why do you think your little bitty body can even erupt to handle a demon? It's funny how we think we can conjure up spirits, but if we got to conjure up a spirit, then that means you ain't shit. Because you got to go conjure up somebody to get something about yourself. So clearly it ain't you. So I'm telling you these things because I'm trying to get you to understand. As I'm talking, somebody don't really see this as a serious matter. And it may be because of the way I'm delivering it. Or it may be because you calm in your spirit because you think you've seen something or feel something that you all don't even know what you know about. And see, for me, it's different. Because some people be talking about how they died and came back to life. Some people have seen some demons for real and they sleep. I'm talking about seeing them while you're woke. Just as well as you see me. Just turn to your right and just see evil right here. You know what's crazy about the movies? I trip off with the portals. You know how somebody right now could just, in a movie, a person can just like pull somebody in and out of something. In and out of a realm. Like out of a dimension. And the dimension be right here. On the side of you, right here. Just be right here. Like somebody could just come in here right now and pull right back out. You feel what I'm saying? That's how spirits work, fam. That's how they operate right now. Think about this for a second. There's a spirit in you right now looking and listening to me. You can't even identify the name of that spirit in you right now. But for everything you know that it's something in you because you looking at me with your eyes. But if you didn't have life in your body, you would drop right now. You would just fall on the bed, on the floor, in this chair, wherever you are right now, in your car. This is you understanding spirit. We are nothing but just a body. This is nothing but flesh. This shit stink after a while. You gotta wash this shit. Some of you gotta be washed twice a day. This is just the body. You know what was funny? I used to tell my partner, they used to be like, boy, you trip. I'd be like, what? Okay, trip off this. If we ain't just a body or a spirit, and if you telling me your eyes, because this nigga used to be like, yeah, fam, you know, I'm looking at you, so you know it's life in me, so I am the life. Meaning he's saying your body is basically your life. And when your body drop, life is gone. That's it. It's just your body. I said, boys, you dumb. Boy, you out. Cause hold up, fam. What? When you at a funeral, and this is so sad, but when you're at a funeral, we all have walked up on the body and looked at the body like, oh my God. The fact that you have to groom the body so to make the body look presentable. This is how you know the body is nothing but mud. You literally have to, when the body has no life in it no more, you got to do something to the body just to keep the body fresh, just to be able to activate the body or operate the body. Then you got to groom the body, and then you got to put makeup on the body to make the body look regular. You got to embalming fluid the body. You got to do all this shit to the body when life is gone from the body. You can never tell me that this body is life. And I have to say that for so many of you, because so many of you are missing the mark, but you're so smart. You're so advanced. You are so exceptional. You're so smart, you're dumb. You so ahead, you behind. And you know why? Because you still searching facts. And you still ain't got truth yet. Or you still haven't accepted. Let me tell you something about receiving, believing, and accepting. All three different things. If you don't believe it, you're not going to receive it. And if you don't receive it, you're not going to accept it. You know how much shit you know, but you don't accept? Woo-woo. You know everything, but you don't accept nothing. You got a whole plethora of shit, but you don't accept nothing. But you know it all, but you don't accept nothing? You dumb mother. What? How you know all of that, but you don't accept nothing? I feel for you. Because for some reason, it don't sit right in your spirit for you to accept it because you know it ain't true. Facts will keep you looking all the days of your life. You will keep looking until God come back. And then when God come back and every knee bow and tongue confess that he is Lord right in front of your face, your dumb ass gonna be too late. Because you got all the information in the world, but you don't believe none of it. receive none of it, and you don't accept none of it. But you know it all, don't you? Who'll tell you about your dumb ass? You know it all, but don't receive shit. You's a lost cause. You's really a lost cause. I'm talking like this to wake your ass up. My bad. I'm really talking like this to wake you up. Because for some reason, you know everything, but you missing that one little thing. And see, that little thing gonna keep your ass alive. Now, let me say this. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let's go.
$9 trillion. Japan, China, Taiwan, South Korea, Asia, UK, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Europe. The same countries that need Middle East oil. There's been this fear that these countries would stop buying U.S. Treasury bonds, that they move to gold or Swiss francs, that America's Ponzi scheme would collapse. But now they need American energy. They need American resources. They can't abandon the dollar. They're trapped. Trump just turned America's biggest weakness, its debt, into its greatest weapon. By starting an unwinnable war in Iran, he's forcing the entire world to depend on North America. This isn't new. Putin already proved.
The United States is enormous. And for all its open roads and national parks and freedom of movement pride, there are corners of this country that are completely...
See, and I knew he was going to say that. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. Uncommon woman in the building. You know what it is. Listen to me. Geeky said, I would suggest you look at the Ethiopian Bible. Damn it, Geeky. That's what I was talking about. When we say something about one thing, everybody busts out and be like, go read this or go read that. And they'll be like, you know what? I suggest you go read Enoch. You know what I'm saying? You say something about one thing, fam be like, you know what? You should go read Book of Enoch. Yeah, that's what you should do. Oh, matter of fact, and then you say something about Enoch, they be like, you know what? You need to go read the Bible. Okay, cool. I'm going to go read the Bible. And then you read the Bible, they tell you to go read the Ethiopian Bible. And then you go read the Ethiopian, then they tell you, hey, go look at the Hebrew book. Oh, wait a minute. Like, what we doing? I done read 5 Bibles, fam. All of them just ran me around the same circle, the same story. Everybody checked in with everybody. Word of truth. If that's the case, what we talking about? But religion ain't about proof. Let me tell you something about proof. Proof gives truth. Hold up. What? Truth has to have proof. Boy, that's a shirt. That's a shirt, Marie. Hold up, fam. Like, let's get order. Because I ain't trying to do that like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you just geeky because truth has to have proof, man. You feel me? And I'm going to just be real. And come look. We all know. We ain't even got to go looking for the proof. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Proof in the pudding. That's what they say, ain't it? Proof in the pudding. That's like saying the truth in the dam. The proof in the truth. That's what they say. Fam say, well, I researched a lot of different religions and just so happen to have been raised Christian. Fam said, I am agnostic. I believe me things. I know a few things. I don't fill in the gaps with magic. Oh, man, this is getting out of hand, Lord. Who up in here? Who up off in here? We got to rebuke everybody, everything that ain't real. Now listen to me. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to me. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the point I'm saying is it has to be proof in truth. And truth has to be in the proof. That's automatic. That's it. It's automatic. That's proof. There's always proof. There's never a thing about no proof in the truth, fam. So when we're looking at what I'm talking about is, I'm just saying how every day we can read the Ethiopian, we can read the Bible, we can read this, but something about the beginning of Genesis 6 that lets me further know about the beginning, about how we was raised. In the beginning, it was him, it was her, and then he came, and then this happened, and then they believed this, and then everybody fell from heaven, and then here we are. Like, let's start with that. You know what I'm saying? You feel? Let's with that, fam. If we can start with it, that's half the battle. We don't even have a starting point. And I think that's the problem. We don't have a starting point. The moment I start talking about some Lori, somebody coming right back, well, oh, he read you know he ain't read and call Lewis and them over there, because you know they got the Hebrew over. Tell them go read the Israelites and them too, because I told him, no, give me that book over there, that round over there, got that dust on it. Yeah, give me that over there. Get it for me right there. Yeah. Now go to page 8 and tell me what you see. That's how they come, fam. And you got the old heads gonna tell you that because again, it's just so much information. What do you believe? Right now, if I ask you, Geeky, right now, what do you believe? I don't think you could flat out tell me what you believe. Let's be real. Tell me. Be real right now. If I ask any of you, what do you believe right now? Could you come out your mouth and say what it is? No. Hear me. I didn't say explain nothing, nigga. I said tell me what you stand on right now. Boom. Go. Because to be honest with you, you're going to tell me what you think, what you feel, and how you preserve what you're looking at. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to tell me what you believe in. You're only going to tell me how you feel about what this is. But you're not going to say really what you believe in. And I think that's the problem that we have. We're going to feel this way till God comes back. And there's going to be a time where we can't feel this way. We got to double down on something. We got to lock in on something. You can't go into the next situation just like, all right, give me the one with the yellow. No, give me the one with the yellow. I mean, like, cause that's a quick decision. And he talking about having a relationship. Oh man, that's a quick decision. That's quick. You can't even double down on what you want right now, and you telling me you know what you believe in right now. Hold up, who is this, Richard? Hold up, who is this? Who is this, Richard? What's his name right here? I thought he just said something disrespectful. It sounded like he said something rude. Did he say look up D's? Can you look and see that what he said? Huh? Yeah, what he say? He said look up D's. Cause I'm like, is he talking about like D's? Cause I know I ain't tripping out in the gang out here, man. Cause I said, that what he on, man? All right. Oh, he tripped. He just tripped with the ball, boy. We're gonna give him a minute. Cause I was in mode. We're gonna let him breathe. Cause I know I ain't tripped. That boy just said what fam been saying from the projects all our life. Up these. What? Alright, that what you on, Dirt? That what you on? What you on, Dirt? What you on, Dirt? I need to know what you on, man. Cause you can't do that. When I'm in mode like that, you can't go in and be like that, man. I don't know, man. Okay, Geeky said, well, that's not what agnostic means either. What's agnostic? What's that? Agnostic? Is that like, I don't even know. Yeah, okay. So we don't really know what agnostic is, fam. Diagnostic people typically believe that there's something bigger and greater, but they're holding back and waiting for proof. Oh, he's a diagnostic person. That's what they call it. I didn't even know that existed. So it's people out here named diagnostic people that don't believe nothing. They just need proof of it. Okay, so that's a new people. I didn't know that. Okay, we learned a lot. Diagnostic people. That's what they call, Geeky. Not agnostic, diagnostic. Oh, okay. So Gnostic is a form of Christianity. What I tell you, Geeky know everything, but don't believe. Geeky believe everything. She don't believe. She know it all, but don't believe. And you can tell too, because she come right back with something like, hey fam, listen, you doing that, but hold up, let me tell you about this. What? Geeky always be like, let me tell you, I gotta get you in a Zoom, man. You gotta come to Zoom, meet this mother, because this shit. She is just like, just so you know. But did you not know? But let me tell you about, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Geeky know it all, but don't believe she. All right. All right, my fault. It's all good. I'm with you. This is crazy. Okay, let's do it. Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just saying, that's how they come. And they were they own. So you know what I'm saying? We can't allow that to keep being what that is. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not doing this, though. Ain't no way. Geeky know it all, don't believe nothing. I believe. I'm with you. Don't trip on that, I'm with you. Don't even trip on that. Hold on, let me see what I was doing. Hold on, what I'm at. Oh no, hold on. Oh, was this it? Was this it right here? Oh no, I'm tripping. Okay. Okay, now here we go. This is fam right here, and he at the courtroom. Listen to him.
Get along. And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false.
Oh.
Havel called this living within a lie. The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true. And its fragility comes from the same source. When even one person stops performing, when the greengrocer removes his sign, the illusion begins to crack. Friends, it is time for companies and countries to take their signs down. 4 decades. For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we called the rules-based international order. We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false, that the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient, that trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain, no longer.
Hold on, why you feel like truth don't have to have proof? Because you don't have to argue truth. Truth automatically, there's proof in truth automatically, fam. Think about it. Proof in truth real quick. Truth, right? Let's talk about truth. He said in the last days, this will be happening. There's proof. We see it. It's happening. So it's true. Okay. The music industry celebrities be on demonic stuff, worshiping devils, sacrificing. It's proof in it. We've seen it. It's true. It's the truth because it's proof. Okay. I know how old I am, and it said on my ID. It's true. And when I whip out my ID, that's the proof. It's so much proof in truth, fam. And if it wasn't, why would we believe it's true? Geeky? See, this shit I be talking about. Like, people just can be talking. Like, when you just talking, like, you gotta know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, you know what I'm talking about? Like, ain't no proving true. We ain't gotta prove true. She said, you keep talking about the Bible and Ethiopian Bible as they are two different texts. They are the exact same text. The only difference is in the King James Version of the Bible has been changed. Cool. I'm not talking about the Ethiopian Bible or the Bible. I'm talking about the fact that even in these Bibles and these things that they both state about Genesis 6, you believe that, right? Because both of them stated, right? Thank you so much, Lord, for the articulate talk. We don't want the articulate talk because we know the articulate talk sounds good, but it's a bunch of facts and it's no truth. The man that's talking on the screen right now, I don't want to waste you all's time. This man that is talking on the screen, he is clearly talking about Trump and how he is evil and how he is telling all of them that it's not fair that we are to be treated like this in this way. Now, I don't know if this is a lie or if he's working with them and this is just propaganda. I've heard about the book of Judas. See what I say? What I tell you? They talking about tonight. They talking about the book of Judas, the book of the book of no, the book of who, the book of who, the book of why, the book of he, the book of how. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. I believe it. There's no truth. See, no, listen. There's nothing. There's no truth in him talking, geeky. What he's talking about is he's talking about how he feels. There's no truth in that. There's just a belief of how he feels, but there's truth in what he's talking about, how the world is being treated today. Let's go.
Works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration.
The man just
but more
said,
recently, great powers have begun using economic...
Chip off this, geeky. The man just said we're in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. He is talking about what the world is doing and the way it's operating. Geeky said, I'm not a spicy meatball, but don't sit there and tell me that you have to have proof to have truth, because that isn't always the case. Okay, so anytime you speak about truth, and if you're in a courtroom, right, you know you got to have proof. Now, I'm not saying that what is going on is not true. Something can be true and you don't have proof. But there is a way that proof will be seen and shown for truth to be manifested. Let me say that again. There is a way for proof to be shown, for truth to be manifested. So many situations have happened where things are true, but there's no way to explain it or to explain the proof, right? But as it manifests in the daily reality of whatever it is, as it manifests, that's the proof. Because let me tell you something, if you don't have proof of the truth, but yet you walking in truth, it's going to manifest proof. When do I think the Bible was written? A cajillion years ago by the council that we know it was written by. Now, knowing that we know that, so many books have not possibly been in, so much passage may not have been written, some things have been left out, some things was automatically, intentionally left out for reasons that they have of their own. So when we discuss the Bible or any type of literature, these are stories. These are nothing but stories, okay? Let's be real, let's be right. These are stories that this man and this woman, or this woman and this man happened, and this creature came and something else happened. These are nothing but stories. So either you wasn't around, I wasn't around, we wasn't around to get the true story, because you know it's always a story. And everybody got their own version. Let's get right up in here. It's always been a version of everybody's story. But the true story, you had to be there to see it for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get right on that. We don't want to go back and forth about when the Bible was written, who wrote it, who put in, who didn't put in. Did Jesus really take his hand and stroke the pen? No, that's not an argument. That's not the case. But what I'm saying is that the Bible was there was prophetess and things of words and stories in there to let us know what would come up today. You understand? It was just to let us know what would come up today from what happened then. You feel me? The stories are to give you faith. Let's get you right now. These stories are not to be argued, partner, or where you get them from, or where they at, or what book they in. These stories are to strengthen your faith in him, because the authority of you having to put on the whole armor of God when the devil and that war starts. You don't really know the purpose, do you? The purpose for you is to put on the whole armor for when the war starts, you know how to shoot. What? This ain't for us to debate, partner. This ain't for us to get about. See, this is for us to seek truth and understanding. This is about seeking understanding, so we know where we end up and who we should be fighting for, so we can survive. That is the sole purpose. These conversations are not for you to say, when was this written? Why was this written? Who wrote it? Oh no, that's a story in there to know that if that's what it is, we need to start looking at it and start manifesting some things so we can see the proof in the truth. Because if you don't believe it, then that means you don't receive it, and therefore we can't manifest it so you can accept it and see it for your own eyes. It's a process. This is not about how you feel. This has never been about how you feel, stupid. You couldn't fathom what is to come off of your feelings. You're not even 1%. You don't even make up 1% of this earth, and you think your feelings can determine what this is? You think your feelings is going to determine demons or angels? Watch us. Your little feelings. The nerve of you. The nerve of you to feel that you think you know what tomorrow is. The nerve of you. How could you even fathom what you think is to come? You don't even know what tomorrow look like, but you feel it's all good because of the day. The nerve of your stupid ass. If that's how you live in your life, partner, you are lost. Let me tell you something right now. You better hear me with everything you got. You are programmed to feel what you feel. Ain't nothing new under the sun, and ain't nothing you thought or felt ain't came before somebody else. You better hear me today. All in what we do, we are programmed to do it. So how could you and your programming determine the fucking future? Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Don't make a fool of me. You making a fool out of yourself because you think your feelings could amount to what God has created and what's to come. And you gonna lead people off of what you feel? Nigga, we all dead. Riding time with you. Tell somebody, your feelings couldn't fathom my future. I pray you tell somebody right now, your feelings couldn't fathom my future. If I gotta believe in your feelings to get where I'm gonna be for eternally, something ain't right. Cause the way you living, nigga, ain't gonna get us there. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Somebody learning something today. Your feelings don't fathom my future. It's something going on in the future, and it ain't about how you feel. Because your feelings ain't giving me no direction. Your feelings ain't leading and guiding nobody to the promised land. What we talking about? I mean, like, what are we really talking about every day when we pull up in here? We talking about going somewhere, getting somewhere, or is we just in here? Your feelings don't fathom my future. You couldn't fathom what the future is for me. You couldn't fathom what's to come. You don't know who we fighting. You don't know when we win. You don't know who sit on the throne. You don't know where you end up at and all of that. But you feel we gonna be all right. You feel it ain't gonna really be shit because you had a nightmare before. Nigga, what? You think you know demons because you had a nightmare? You think you know because you felt like it was cool? We got to thank God that I'm here talking to you right now. See, this be that discernment. See, this be right where, see, you be here. See, you here for a reason at the right time in the right moment, right now. Because for some reason, you thought your feelings was going to make our future better. You thought your feelings was determining my future and where I'm going to be eternally. You really thought you was leading us? Nigga, you don't even know what to do and you think we going to listen to you? You better wake up. You're giving yourself too much credit for something you don't know nothing about. You're giving yourself too much for something you ain't even looked into. You giving yourself God-like powers and you can't even fight off a demon by your own name. See, can't nobody call on your name to get rid of demons. Whoop, whoop. That's the problem, partner. I can't call on you to get rid of nobody. I can't call on you to get rid of nobody. But you saying, oh, y'all some gods. You got all the power. You got all the facts. You know all the books to read. So let's follow you, fam. But you ain't got no power in your name. But for some way, somehow, you feel tomorrow gonna be a better day. You feel. You better, boy. You better understand, geeky. I'm not here to make you believe me. I'm here to just give it to you like it is. If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, it's a duck. You understand me? We here to inform, understand, and be aware. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't no power in none of y'all name, but yet you feel that you know eternally where we gonna be. We can't call on you to fight a demon. We can't call on you to do shit. But you telling me you know the more. You better start recognizing who you is. You better put eyes on where you are. You better stop running around with facts and start eating some truth so you can get full. Because I'm telling you, If you stand for nothing, you're going to fall for anything. And you're going to fall for that same stupid shit you be thinking every day that's true. And that's a lie from the pit of hell. Literally. But yet you think it ain't because your heart is in a good place. But that ain't going to get you nowhere. That don't get you to win. You don't win the battle off of that. You don't win the war off of that. And you sure ain't leading nobody nowhere off of that. When last time you told somebody about what's going on today and how to get right so we can live forever? When last time you told somebody what's going on? Huh? But you swear you feel you know what's coming and what we should be doing, but your stupid ass ain't told nobody about what's going on and what's coming. Because you don't even believe it. But you got all the facts. You know all the books. You know all the stories. You don't even believe the shit you read. That's why you ain't told nobody about it. I ain't talking about you, Geeky. We care about your feelings. It's okay. It's not about you, Geeky. It's not about your feelings. It's not about you, Geeky. Generally speaking to people that I am over your face. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, no, you talking about Richard. You telling Richard you're over his face with the gun on him? Is that what, like over the face? I don't know. Oh, she's talking about Richard, talking about telling everybody to beat him up in the text. This is crazy. So you said beat up Richard in the comments? That's different. It's different. Yeah, it's crazy. She over beating him up in the comment. Big left hook, big jab. She doing a left kick, Bruce Lee chop. I figured that what it was. I thought you was spinning on me. I thought she was spinning. And you over here, big taekwondo on fam. I feel you, G. Get him. I know, I just don't like Richard. She said, I know, I just don't like him. Press play, son. Oh, he's talking about press play. And then he called me son, fam. Fam called me son. You hear me? Like, oh, this is crazy. He called me son. This is diabolic. He press play, son. Oh, okay, my bad, partner. Hey, these folks crazy. They come. All right.
Integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage. Financial infrastructure as coercion. Supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited.
People crazy.
You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination. The multilateral institutions on which the middle powers have relied, the WTO, the UN, the COP, the architecture, the very architecture of collective problem solving are under threat. And as a result, many countries are drawing the same conclusions, that they must develop greater strategic autonomy in energy, food, critical minerals, in finance and supply chains. And this impulse is understandable. A country that can't feed itself, fuel itself, or defend itself has few options. When the rules no longer protect you, you must protect yourself. But let's be clear-eyed about where this leads. A world of fortresses will be poorer, more fragile, and less sustainable. And there's another truth.
Is you for real, Geeky, or you talking crazy now? Yeah, because I'm like, is this really real, or is you just like, cause how that work, fam? Because you know we want to make sure everybody's intact. He's actually right. Listen to learn. Hold on. I'm on Geek. Okay, so Geek, he's actually right here. Okay, hold on. If you become okay, great, yeah, that's good. All of that, yeah. So yeah, Richard, you probably getting beat up in there right now. So yeah, Gigi, okay, let's get order. Okay. Are you really what you saying you is, or you just saying that on GP? Okay, they going back and forth, man. They banging. Okay.
Great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests. The gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate. Hegemons cannot continually monetize their relationships. Allies will diversify to hedge against uncertainty. They'll buy insurance, increase options in order to rebuild sovereignty. Sovereignty that was once grounded in rules but will increasingly be anchored in the ability to withstand pressure. This room knows this is classic risk management. Risk management comes at a price. But that cost of strategic autonomy, of sovereignty, can also be shared. Collective investments in resilience are cheaper than everyone building their own fortresses. Shared standards reduce fragmentation. Complementarities are positive sum. And the question for middle powers like Canada is not whether to adapt to the new reality. We must. Right. The question is whether we adapt by simply building higher walls, or whether we can do something more ambitious. Now, Canada was amongst the first to hear the wake-up call, leading us to fundamentally shift our strategic posture. Canadians know that our old comfortable assumptions that our geography and alliance memberships automatically conferred prosperity and security, that assumption is no longer valid. And our new approach rests on what Alexander Stubb, the president of Finland, has termed value-based realism. Or to put another way, we aim to be both principled and pragmatic.
No, you can't.
Principled in our commitment to fundamental values, sovereignty, territorial integrity, the prohibition of the use of force except when consistent with the UN Charter, and respect for human rights. And pragmatic in recognizing that progress is often incremental.
If it walk like
interests diverge, that not every partner will share all of our values. So we're engaging broadly, strategically, with open eyes. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait around for a world we wish to be. We are calibrating our relationships so their depth reflects our values. And we're prioritizing broad engagement to maximize our influence, given the fluidity of the world at the moment, the risks that this poses, and the stakes for what comes next. And we are no longer just relying on the strength of our values, but also the value of our strength. We are building that strength at home. Since my government took office, we have cut taxes on incomes, on capital gains, and business investment. We have removed all federal barriers to interprovincial trade. We are fast-tracking $1 trillion of investments in energy, AI, critical minerals, new trade corridors, and beyond. We're doubling our defense spending by the end of this decade, and we're doing so in ways that build our domestic industries. And we are rapidly diversifying abroad. We've agreed a comprehensive strategic partnership with the EU, including joining SAFE, the European Defense Procurement Arrangements. We have signed 12 other trade and security deals on 4 continents in 6 months. The past few days, we've concluded new strategic partnerships with China and Qatar. We're negotiating free trade pacts with India, ASEAN, Thailand, Philippines, and Mercosur. We're doing something else. To help solve global problems, we're pursuing variable geometry. In other words, different coalitions for different issues based on common values and interests. So on Ukraine, we're a core member of the Coalition of the Willing and one of the largest per capita contributors to its defense and security. On Arctic sovereignty, we stand firmly with Greenland and Denmark and fully support their unique right to determine Greenland's future. Our commitment to NATO's Article 5 is unwavering.
All the duckies died.
So we're working with our NATO allies, including the Nordic Baltic Gate, to further secure the alliance's northern and western flanks, including through Canada's unprecedented investments in over-the-horizon radar, in submarines, in aircraft, and boots on the ground.
Big duck guy.
Boots on the ice. Canada strongly opposes tariffs over Greenland and calls for focused talks to achieve our shared objectives of security and prosperity in the Arctic. On plurilateral trade, we're championing efforts to build a bridge between the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the European Union, which would create a new trading bloc of 1.5 billion people. On critical minerals, we're forming buyers clubs anchored in the G7 so that the world can diversify away from concentrated supply. And on AI, we're cooperating with like-minded democracies to ensure that we won't ultimately be forced to choose between hegemons and hyperscalers. This is not naive multilateralism, nor is it relying on their institutions. It's building coalitions that work, issues by issue, with partners who share enough common ground to act together. In some cases, this will be the vast majority of nations. What it's doing is creating a dense web of connections across trade, investment, culture, on which we can draw for future challenges and opportunities. Argue that middle powers must act together because if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. But I'd also say that great powers can afford for now to go it alone. They have the market size, the military capacity, and the leverage to dictate terms. Middle powers do not. But when we only negotiate bilaterally with a hegemon, we negotiate from weakness. We accept what's offered. We compete with each other to be the most accommodating. This is not sovereignty. It's the performance of sovereignty while accepting subordination. In a world of great power rivalry, the countries in between have a choice: compete with each other for favor, or to combine to create a third path with impact. We shouldn't allow the rise of hard power to blind us to the fact that the power of legitimacy, integrity, and rules will remain strong if we choose to wield them together. Which brings me back to Havel. What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? Well, first, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised.
And see, Richard, you got to get some water, bro. Because you understand, see, Richard over there talking about where was Jesus for 18 years? Stupid man. The man created you. And you over there talking crazy about him, he gonna get with you, fam. You don't want to talk that crooked about G, yeah, because you know he pull up on you, fam, while you sleep. Yeah, see, that's the difference, man. I ain't worried about y'all. See, I don't talk about game, because if you talk about game, he gonna pull up, and you don't know when. You don't even see him pull up, he just appeared. So you probably want to hold up on it. Because he can keep talking. And you go to sleep, wake up, you got a second neck. You gonna be worried about why all of this coming out. Now you try to figure out why you swallow it, and it's coming out your other side neck, and you ain't going down this neck. You try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, you talking out the side of your neck, nigga, and he done got on you. Funny, he done made you another neck. You better be quiet, fam. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, probably want to be quiet. Because I'll tell you, keep talking about Jesus, bro. He gonna pull up, gang. I'm just saying. He gonna pull up, G. You probably want to hold up. You feel me? Because it's different. Okay, Fair said, okay, let's use another logic for you. We're talking Star Wars. There are plenty of details left out of the story, but you accept it as whole, do you not? You have the information you need? I don't, no, because I don't have the information I need. They give you a story about Darth Vader, who he was before him. They give you that. But in that story, you see the truth and the proof. Yeah, but it's still some things left out. She said, I have no idea what they're referring to. You're a little bit behind us, and I've said a lot. So I may or may not have meant what I said if I was talking to Richard. Oh, okay, cool. All good. So listen, with the Star Wars situation, we don't really know. We just get the story as is. But it ain't a big deal. I ain't finna go 8 hours about it. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. The truth is in the pudding and the proof is in the truth. You feel me? Hit that like button, double tap that screen. It's the reason why you're here. Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. with your boy Dilla T right here with my fam. You know what it is, as always, you know what it is, one way, only to do it one way, only to do it only with your boy, Dilla T, right here, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. As always, fam, I appreciate you pulling up, rocking with your G, talking to me about real life and things that we need to be discussing moving forward to our future, family. As always, family, you already know what it is and what it ain't, man. There's only one way to do it right here, one way only, man. Right here, no filters, man. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Become a member today. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. And share this with the world. Yeah. And of course, family, when you come in, make sure you get comfortable, man. Get you something to eat, something to drink, something to smoke if that's what you doing. Because you see the title, fam. You in here with your boy Dilla T, my fam. And this is No Filters. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all have a good night. Lock your doors. You know it's love. God bless you.